everyone, are you ready for another adventure? It's me, Woki, and I'm back with another fake Grand Order video, and we're here for a good old grind and talk. This is actually I recorded one beforehand, but I was so tired from everything that it did not come out good. So this one will be better. So yeah, if you don't know what a grind and talk is, it's just going to be me grinding, which is going to be the lotto, because it's ending in 18 hours, but by the time you likely watch this, it's either over or close to ending, and that's going to be today's video. I'm just going to talk for a bit, and that's all it is. If you want to talk, if you want to leave a comment or like, that'd be nice, but otherwise, it's not needed. It's just really more for chilling and hanging out, and basically that's it. So, the lotto grind. This is the team I'm going to be using for the final hours. For the most of it, I was grinding using the Toon Squad over here, which was Arash, Quetz, and then for a support, Tez, 2 Koyanskayas, and Mash, and now I'm going to be using, and before that I was also using Habitrot, but eventually it got to the point where I didn't need to use the 3 material anymore, so I switched to a team that would let me grind with everything, which this team does. And then this one, I'm using it on this side because it's slightly faster. It does use the black rail, but I think it's fine for the most part. I want to grind with Bunyan. I actually don't need the materials that much. What I actually care more about is actually Bond. So I can start getting more Bond stuff for Bunyan, so I can get Bunyan to level 120 now that I've learned that you can have 2 extra slot classes for Grand. So one of them is definitely going to be Bunyan, and the other one is going to be Cuckoo. So yeah, let's go in here and go about it a little bit. And I guess I can show the team in action as it's going. Feel free to let me know what kind of team you're using. I assume it's pretty similar. If I had more copies of Bunyan, I would not need the black rail. If I had, I think, maybe NP2 of Bunyan, I think I could do this without the black rail. If either NP2 or NP3, but I don't have that many copies, so I have to kind of go this way. I really have to look into the future and see when is a good time. Maybe by the final year. Maybe the final year, even though there's a lot of new units coming out, maybe that's where I actually solidify the ones I want to use for Grand and start chasing more copies of them rather than always going for the new units. So this is how the team functions, by the way. I guess I'll show it off. You use all of Bunyan's skills here. You make sure to use the one with overcharge specific. I mean, you want to make sure to use all of them on turn 1 so that when you use this, you're able to do it, but the overcharge effect actually increases Arash's power. Mine is level 90, but with overkill, it shouldn't be too... It should be very easy for him to knock out this one, like, crazy easy. Yeah, no problem whatsoever. And then from here, it's pretty self-explanatory. Go here, go here, go there. I think I don't even really need to use those skills, to be honest with you. Then go here. So yeah, the main issue with Bunyan is always going to be you need more NP copies to make up for the fact that her skills don't give her enough a lot of the time. And then we'll go here. Get this. Which gives us another go around of these. And then I don't think I needed to use that last skill. I probably could actually get away with not using that at all. But go here. Don't need to use that second skill. It's not needed. Just go there. And then boom, boom, boom. And it's not even going to take the additional... This is why it's so good to farm with Bunyan, because that NP barely lasts a moment, and then it's over. And then we move right back on to grinding and stuff like that. So if I just remove those other skills, it likely also goes by pretty quickly too. And yeah, this is the final one for it. It's very... obviously, I can easily do this with Cuckoo. Not with Cuckoo, with, well, I could easily do this with Cuckoo. With Quetz, because she's MP3, and she's also crazy boosted from a lot of stuff. There's a lot of things currently boosting her, but, I'll go here, and then... Why am I forgetting? That's the other thing, is sometimes my mind is just like, dumb. Go there. So yeah, the very basics of it. I wonder, how's your grind been going? Mine's been going pretty alright for the most part. I'm going to be grinding. I'm going to try and get like maybe 100, a couple boxes afterwards. The thing I care about is actually not the material itself. It's, the other stuff, which is the gems. I really care about the gems a whole bunch. Because you use them to up the class score, and I'm really low on gems now for Rider, I think. I might be also getting confused. It might not be with that I'm actually using. I'm not 100%. It's statues, actually. I wish there was a lotto that gave me statue. But also, we're not going to have a lotto for an extremely long time after this. It's like an entire year until we get lottos again. Someone told me that at Anime Expo, or not at Anime Expo, but most recently, it was confirmed that we're not going to have the vote that Japan had. Japan got to vote for what reruns they were getting. We're not getting that. We're just going to get the ones that they voted for, and they're going to leave it at that. Which is fine with me. I don't mind the ones they picked. I actually do mind. I take that back. I forgot completely that I actually have an entire beef with the fact that Japan had the chance to pick a summer with the Valkyries, and they picked the one that didn't have the Valkyries, but I guess the Da Vinci one had more. Da Vinci, the free-to-play, is really fucking good, so I understand why they would want to get back. I'm pretty sure they had other reasons for doing it, but I assume that is the main reason for why they did it. It's just because Da Vinci is just that good. And the event itself gave some nice stuff, so, you know. It makes sense. I'm not gonna debate them, but that means we're gonna be getting that one, and we're gonna get the Draco event, so that makes things a little bit easier to talk about, but it also means we don't have a vote. Which, again, I think is fine. I'm sure there'll be other ways for us to get other banner stuff and other things in there that Japan did not get, but... The fuck was I talking about before I got completely sidetracked? I just been busy making the GSSR videos, and I have other videos to make as well still. I still have to talk about what's coming for January 2026, which that video should be up tomorrow, actually. And then I have another longer video. I already have basically conceded the fact that I didn't make it in time, which was looking at all the St. Quartz and tickets that we're getting for the year, which is still a video I'm planning to do. It's just going to take place sometime January, either early January or mid-January, where I talk about it. Likely, hopefully, before the Fate Samurai event itself starts, but we'll see. And yeah, that will be the end of the year. It'll be very crazy. I had other things planned, but unfortunately I didn't make it. But now that I had a thing that I talked to my brother about that would have been very funny to do, but I don't think I have time to do it, and I think I'll do it for next year. But next year is going to be an entire different thing as I try and lock in and do a bunch of different things that I feel like I did. I think, again, in terms of the channel, it was a really good year, and I probably will talk about this more when I do a video unloading all my Lotto stuff. But there's still some aspects of it that I would like to improve and stuff, and, you know, it's a good time to reflect when it's all over. But it's not over yet. I still have time on the clock. But the one thing I definitely don't like is the long intervals between the next video. Because right now it's like 1 or 2 videos a week, basically, and I would like that to be more. Like, I'm not even mentioning the fact that I'm going to hit with this one just to see what the final power is going to be like. So if you don't know, Super Bunyan gets powerful the more strikes she does, so if I do a little bit of those beforehand, she'll get a little bit stronger for the final node, and I'm just kind of interested to see how much power it's going to be, so that's why I did it that way. I don't think it's that much, but it's enough to make me go, eh, I'll check it out. We'll see if we break over 1 million. Probably very easily so, but... Here. Make sure to do that, of course. But yeah, I would like to have more than 1 video go up. And I'm sure that as far as the video is concerned, it was fine because, yeah, just a little bit, just over 1 million. I'm sure it was all fine and dandy, but I want to release the other videos. I even play more games. I don't know, I want to get back to doing things that I like, but I can't deny that the channel is doing very well at the moment, in terms of growth and stuff like that. If it was possible to do other stuff, I would definitely look into it, but for right now, I'm very happy. And we'll look for how it all went down this year. Okay, go here. But yeah, besides that, what I've been doing? What have I been watching? I was playing a little bit of Expedition 33. My original plan was trying to finish that game before the year end, and then I fucking got lost in the sauce of doing this. There was also a time where I could have totally had been playing it, because I played it beforehand and before all the award stuff came out. So I was not surprised, like many were, when Expedition 33 swept everything, because I was like, well, I played a little bit, and yeah, that makes sense for it to be Game of the Year. It's probably the easiest one everyone can kind of agree on. If it's not one, it's probably in the list of somewhere in the 10. And if it's not there, it's likely they didn't play it or they hate JRPGs, whatever it may be. But I stopped a little bit because I got busy with work, and then I was going to get back into it, and then instead my friend said that we've been playing Baldur's Gate 3 on Sundays, and they said we're not likely to play it this Sunday, so I said I'm going to get my fix in of Baldur's Gate 3 and play a little bit by myself. And that took up like an entire day that I could have been doing to play that. And so that's how the time goes away sometimes. But yeah, I was playing a little bit of Expedition 33. I finally made it to part 2. And I hope to finish that maybe in the month or so. I have to also make sure to beat Fate Samurai. I also did start up Hades 2 on my Steam Deck, and I played like 2 hours of that, and I was like, God damn, this game is so fucking good. It reminded me that, oh yeah, Hades was like the best fucking game when it released. It definitely makes me feel like that, so I definitely want to keep playing that on Steam Deck when I got the chance. I've also been thinking of maybe just moving Fate Samurai over to the Steam Deck, so that will make it easier for me to play before I go to bed and stuff like that. Trying to beat it before the actual event comes out, which is going to be tough at this point. I should have beaten it much sooner. And then I also have to do Witch of the Holy Night, and, you know, it's a whole thing. I definitely wasn't able to finish as many games as I would have liked to this year. It's something I'm going to have to look for better to improve for the next year. And yeah, get back on the grind there. A lot of it was because I also wasn't able to finish certain games that I was playing on stream, like Silent Hill F, and I wanted to continue on stream, but I don't know why I did that skill. It's fine. But it's so hard to stream nowadays. I have to actually look into putting a filter noise canceller on my mic now, just so I can make it easier for my brother, because right now he has a new laptop and the mic is very loud, and my mic is extremely good, so it picks it up extremely easy. So he puts it down a little bit. He still uses his laptop and stuff, but he has to put it down and hopefully not overheat his laptop by accident while I'm recording and stuff like that. So I'm gonna definitely look into a noise canceller the second I can, because it'd be easier than just having to do this constant back and forth of like, okay, now just get rid of it all. Put down your fan or whatever. It probably isn't good for the laptop and stuff like that. It's just better if I actually... The problem is that I like audio. I like the specific noise of the audio. And I am very self-conscious on how sounds like, which is surprising because if you watch a lot of my older videos, the sound quality is absolutely awful. I mean, even if you go back all the way to the first videos I ever did in general, which was the Modcast, I used to record that with an old Rock Band mic, and I made sure to try and upgrade my mic better. I even improved in the sound in that, because back in the day, I think you can probably still hear it a little bit if you hear it close enough. But back then, we got an email sent in from someone who said, "Who the fuck is breathing into the mic?" And I looked through it because I was editing the podcast back then, and I said, "Oh fuck, it's me. I'm the culprit behind this." And I had to learn to like try and do better by audio and stuff. So, yeah, there's a lot of things to improve as we go into the new year. So yeah, I have a very big affinity to sound. More than I probably should. So whenever I've heard it on the filter, I always thought it sounded muffly and bad. Yeah, but you know what? If I just practice and find the right like settings, like start doing videos and saying like, "Hey, do me a favor. This video is only really to test the audio. Would you mind telling me how this sounds?" And then improving it from there. I think that probably works out perfectly fine. You know, there's no reason why I can't just go out and do that and stuff like that, and then save it for the big stuff. Real free to play, by the way. I'll click on here. I didn't know I was clicking on someone that was a real free to play. That means that they don't spend on the GSSR. They don't spend the $11 that it's needed for the GSSR. Not to make fun of anyone who does that, but again, if you say this is a pet peeve of mine that goes back for a very long time, but if you're free to play, do not add in the stipulation, but I summon on GSSR, because you're no longer free to play. That's not what that means. Free to play means that you are here, literally here for free. You don't buy anything. If you're buying something, you're not free to play. It's just the simple. There's nothing wrong with buying something if you can afford it, but you're not free to play. That's weird. Why would you call yourself that? Like, what is the stigma? It doesn't matter if you're free to play. You're free to play because of circumstances, and that's perfectly fine, or whatever. There's nothing wrong with wanting to be free to play as well. Don't let me get you wrong on that. But if you're someone who is like saying, I'm free to play, but I'll summon on a GSSR, then you're simply not you're not free to play. You're a minnow. That's what you are in the ecosystem of whaledom. We have, which is what I think I'm closer to maybe a dolphin? I don't think I really make the requisites of dolphin. I'm like somewhere between like I'm definitely a fish. Like a minnow is what it's called as the people who spend like the very minimum of anything. I don't think I'm that. I think I'm likely especially, it also gets a little bit construed just because I'm... Okay, let me see what this real free-to-player... Real free-to-play can only afford to put up 3 things on the friend slot? Real free-to-play, by the way. Real free-to-play. I'm gonna keep using them because I'm making fun of them for no reason. For being a jerk. I don't know, it's always bothered me. It's been doing that. They used to say the same thing on Dokkan. Because back in the day, Dokkan, before it was guaranteed SSR, and it became a Super Saiyan a garage sale, or whatever it is that Vegeta says when Trunks goes Super Saiyan for the first time. Back then, it was very hard to get an SSR in Dokkan, and nowadays it's extremely easy. But back then, there were people who would say, I'm free to play, but I summon on the GSSR just because it's a really good deal. Which, again, I feel like defeats the purpose of saying you're free to play. You're supposed to be free of sin. It's like saying I'm a virgin except for when I have sex. It's like, that's not how it works. I'm sorry, but the seal has been broken. There's nothing wrong with it, but it's been broken. Anyway, enough about that. In terms of other stuff that I've been doing, what have I been watching? Nothing... Let me see. The other big thing I talked about, which is Stranger Things Season 5. I've had a little bit more time to talk to someone else and kind of talk about it. This new Season 5 it's a season, alright. The episode everyone's complaining about is not a very good episode. I don't think it's like, yeah, Bond 9, Bond 9, Bond 9. I don't think it's like the absolute dirt worst of anything, but it definitely is like a, why did you say this? Why did you do this? If you haven't seen it, I'm not going to spoil it for you, but I watched all of that. That was one where after I watched the 3 new episodes that they came out, I was like, okay. Like, I didn't really feel like we were heading towards an ending of some kind. But we are, apparently. We'll see where it goes. Other than that, what I've been watching... I mean, I have a letterbox now. I can pull up the letterbox and tell you real quick about what I've said about the movies I've watched. Alright, here's a new segment called Wokey Looks at His Letterbox and tells you what he's been feeling about movies. Alright. Let's see. I can go here and go to my reviews. There we go. As I go and click here. Remember that you're still playing a fucking video game in the background, by the way, Wokey. Remember why you're doing it. Someone actually asked me if there was going to be a long stream of me doing it, and I wish I could, but I really can't right now. Alright, let's see. I watched The Cyclops from 1957. I gave this a 1-star review. I said this movie is really bad, but it has some amazing effects, like when a giant iguana shows up, and I almost died laughing. If they ever re-release this in theaters with a double feature of another 60-minute bad 1950s movie, I'm there day one, and I feel that from the heart. The Cyclops is from 1951. It is not a very good movie. It has those old style effects where, I don't know if it was called green screen specifically, but it was like a 2-screen thing. It's very similar to how they did some of the effects in the original King Kong, where it's like the actors are on a different stage from when the effect is happening, so they just put in a giant iguana and they just kind of like walked around for a bit, and they were like, "Oh, it's a terrifying, huge Komodo dragon" or something like that, and yeah, not very good. And then the Cyclops shows up, and the Cyclops does not look good. It's actually just a man with like a radiated face. I watched Lake Mungo, which I really like Great Lake Mungo. That was a documentary found footage horror movie, which was fucking great. I would suggest going to check it out if you like horror movie stuff. I thought it was very well done. Lulls you into a false sense of security. I watched Mortal Kombat because, of course, R.I.P. to Cary Hoyuki Tagawa, who played Shang Tsung in that movie. I also just love Mortal Kombat, the first original 1995 movie, so much. It adapts the game so well that you don't even realize some of the most modern things that are currently in MK came from that fucking movie. You go like, oh, why is it like this? It's from that Mortal Kombat movie. Why does Johnny Cage act like this now? It's from that movie. Why is Raiden vaguely French? Well, they never followed that up. But there is a DLC where you got to play as him in Mortal Kombat 11. You got the actor came back to go do it. Same thing is true for Shang Tsung. But the Shang Tsung that they put in this movie was just, so fucking good. Like, the right level of cheese and menace is absolutely amazing. Anyway, continuing on as I go in here and do my Bunyan. From Hell It Came, also from 1957, another terrible movie about, like, an evil tree. All the effects went into the tree, but oh my god, dude, if you watch this movie, watch it for the tree. 100%, I guarantee you'll have a fun time if you're able to accept it. The thing that's bad about this one and the Cyclops is that both of them are old movies where white people went to indigenous lands. So the one in Mexico, they have a lot of people going, señor. And then from Hell It Came, they have a lot of people that came from what I assume is supposed to be like native islands, like Hawaii. So they have people going, like that, which is just straight up. It's funny, but it's like, that is not aged very well. The Blob, this is another classic kind of bad movie. The scariest part about The Blob is that at one point in the movie, they say, like, hey, don't make me waste my 80 cents on a movie, and I almost cried, because I can't believe that's how much it used to cost them to go to a movie. Made me extremely sad. This continues to be the only Steve McQueen movie that I've seen. Gremlins, which is a fantastic Christmas movie. I watched it for Christmas. Five Nights at Freddy's 2. I think I've already talked about that, so go watch the other Grind and Talk if you want to hear about my experience with Five Nights at Freddy's 2, but I like that movie. It is not, by a definition of what is a good movie, but it is extremely enjoyable. At least it was to me. A lot of it probably comes down to the creature feature and how much my brother loves Five Nights at Freddy's, and also because the theater experience in the movie went fucking crazy when I went in there, but yeah, there you go. I have to watch some more movies and stuff like that, but I'll get around to it. And yeah, that's basically what I've been doing, and I think that's good enough for a Grind and Talk as any else. We did get Bunyan to Bond 9, which is kind of what I wanted, and I still have to go record that other GSSR video. So that's it for this Grind and Talk. Thank you very much for watching if you made it this way. Best of luck on your final moving of the grind. I know they are out there grinding like crazy. One person said, thank you for your long GSSR video. I watched it all while grinding, and I was like, I guess when you're grinding hardcore, you do need something to watch in the back. But anyway, that's it, everyone. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Until next time, I'll see you later. and peace out. Bye bye.